We had to change what we were known for.
It wasn't really meant to be what it is today. It was just really truthfully necessity, and it just sort of snowballed from there.
Hey agency leaders, I'm David, and you just met Miles and Vallene Kailburn from Old Town Media, or OTM. In this edition of our Agency Combinator series, we're going to dive into OTM's journey. A journey from a small web design shop to a full-service agency and creative consultancy in Colorado with 65 clients and 16 team members. We're going to share how OTM successfully maneuvered through their agency growth S-curves.
We really look at it in that S-curve model, and when you look into S-curves and the cycles, I mean, it literally hits us every 7 years. Every 7 years, we're a different company. We didn't know that. We just kept changing. And then somewhere around year 14, we started to understand it. And it actually started to make a lot more sense. And we embraced that.
Think of it this way. You're hiking up a mountain. You're just getting your footing and figuring out the right pace. Then you find your rhythm and you start to climb faster. This is your high growth phase. Then ultimately, you start to plateau at the top and start walking in circles. You've now hit your growth peak where growth is no longer exponential. But let's rewind it a bit. It's 2007. Vallene and Miles had moved to Fort Collins, Colorado 3 years before. At this exact time, millions of small to medium-sized businesses still didn't have a website. Google Maps had only been created 2 years before, and Facebook was founded only 3 years prior. Businesses needed to get online. Vallene seized the opportunity and started building websites for local businesses. With Miles lending his technical hand, OTM was born and their first growth phase was off and running. The next 17 years would be filled with lessons as Vallene stepped into the role as founder and chief creative officer and Miles as chief executive officer. For OTM, significant inflection points or S-curve plateaus happen every 7 years. The first one hit in 2014. OTM's team had grown to 10 and was cruising along like a well-oiled machine. Until platforms like Wix and Squarespace decided to crash the party. They made it so that anyone can create their own website. OTM's cornerstone service was getting steamrolled.
The company started as a web company. We did websites. So we did like 150 a year. We worked with other marketing agencies, designed and developed them. Then after 7 years, it migrated to a marketing company because that's what the industry needed. It became a full service marketing company.
This expansion included adding digital advertising, inbound marketing, account-based marketing, public relations, photo and video, branding, and consulting. A full quiver of services meant more opportunities to serve their clients end to end. It also meant Vallene and Miles needed some help. Expanded offerings create the need of expanded expertise. To achieve this pivot, OTM brought on board their first full-time marketing director, Carrie Luganbill, and a full-time account director, Rachel Schlegel. Both Carrie and Rachel would go on to become partners and pivotal senior leaders at the agency. This major shift and added expertise kept OTM growing. But for the first few years, Miles and Vallene had to face the hard truth. They were essentially running two separate companies. Like any football team, there has to be alignment in offensive and defensive strategies to maximize a winning strategy.
We built two completely vertical silos that were completely disconnected. The first thing is you got to get the new division off the ground. So we built up a client base, and then we realized there was no cross-selling, there was no co-management. And, this is maybe 18 months, 2 years into that. It took us 3 years to basically merge those silos together so that we could have larger client value, lifetime values. We could cross-sell, we could have a singular point of contact, but also we had to change what we were known for.
OTM converted its silos to a hub and spoke model where all services tied back to its core web product. This allowed them to upsell and cross-sell services effectively, enabling OTM to surpass $1 million in yearly revenue. OTM saw consistent growth for years in this new model. But like all things, change happens. They started to see that their agency was going through another lifecycle change following the COVID-19 pandemic. That period, like in 2014, OTM was going through a critical point on its S-curve. What Miles and Vallene saw in 2021 and into 2022 was that clients were bringing core marketing services back in-house. Budgets were tightening. This was a telltale sign that OTM's second S-curve was approaching the maturity phase. Ongoing success does not come to those who stand still. The post-COVID environment for many was challenging, OTM included.
You saw people get sloppy with finances, get sloppy with positioning, get sloppy on hiring. 2023 was an abysmal year. I think many agencies were down 50% and some of the best in class were flat for the year.
OTM has turned to deeper client-side solutions to keep the growth moving.
The questions that we get asked from clients now are more along those lines of operating models or helping with people systems. And we've built a lot of those things. So I foresee us getting deeper in with the clients and solving more holistic problems that way.
They've built their own turnkey solution for managing bottom-of-funnel leads using a tech stack of solutions. This includes HubSpot, CallRail, and AgencyAnalytics. This also meant investing and upskilling their team to meet those needs.
You have to be able to upskill a team really fast in today's marketplace.
As you can see, the path to agency success comes in many shapes and forms, including the winding path of an S-curve. So where does your agency rank on the S-curve and what actions will you take next? Head on over to the blog for more on OTM's journey through their agency S-curves. The link is in the description below. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow agency folks. Until next time, keep learning and growing.